It's a new week in the ongoing battle for control of the metals market. I've documented some of this recently. Um, the Presumably the bullion banks have been attacking gold, usually in the pre-market. They want to drive it below that October low of 1465, try to create a panic sell-off, and they can cover their short positions into that panic. We saw this happen back in May, but for the first time in probably forever, there was a buyer, and in my thought is probably a cartel of hedge funds, have seen an opportunity here and banded together to take advantage of it. When the banks get locked into these huge short positions, it provides the opportunity for a massive short squeeze, and you can make a lot of money very quick. But you've got to have enough firepower to defeat the bank's manipulation. So the banks have been pretty much able to take gold down at will. They just dump a bunch of contracts, usually in the pre-market. It takes out the bid stack, and then the price of gold collapses. Uh, what they do is really not legal. You're not Position size is not supposed to exceed 3,000 contracts, but I actually saw a couple of contract dumps in the 26,000 level over the last couple of weeks. But these rules are never going to be enforced on the banks. So the only way they can be enforced is if somebody stands against them and forces them to get caught in a short squeeze, and it costs them money. And they did this back in May, and they are it cost the banks billions, and they're trying to break the manipulation again. You can see we had several big hits again early this morning to drive gold back below that 1465 level right in here. But you can see the buyers have stepped in and negated those attacks, and it's been my opinion now that the banks are in such huge positions that it's become very risky to keep hitting the market with these huge contract dumps. Even if they do create a panic, now it's going to be hard to get out of that short position. It's gotten so huge. I was thinking that they would probably change their target to the mining stocks and maybe silver, try to bring down the market that way. They tried this tactic in May and it did not work. So clearly the cartel is fighting back against the bank manipulation. They've regained 1465, which is a critical level in my opinion. You can see here's the October low. The banks, obvious and blatant attack right here to drive gold down, try and create that panic sell-off. It went briefly below it for a couple days, but then the buyer stepped in, recovered, moved gold back above this level, defeated this attack, and if they can get gold back above, let's call it 1485, I think the squeeze will be on. And if that happens, the bank's going to lose billions again like they did here, and I think it would have the added benefit of stopping this manipulation from ever happening again. The banks will be served notice that, obviously the rules are never going to be enforced on them, but if they are enforced via buyers punishing them for their manipulation and costing them billions of dollars, then that manipulation will end, and we won't have to worry about that anymore. Right now I'm looking at 1475 right here. This was the weekly high from last week, so if gold gets above that level, it would form a weekly swing high, and I think that would be a pretty good signal that this is a final intermediate bottom, and the banks are going to lose this battle again. And if they do, the stakes are high. They're going to lose billions and billions of dollars again, just like they did earlier this year.